Hello and welcome to another FGTN show. Today is March 7th, 2025. Glad to see a few of you tuning in here. Drop in the chat, say hello. I always like to see who's tuned in live. And if you're on the replay squad, as always, drop in there and let me know, are you still out ice fishing or have you officially, whenever you're watching this, whether it's tonight live or in the future here, are you still ice fishing here in the 2024-2025 ice fishing season? Let me know. We got a great FGTN show lined up for tonight. I've got a ton of different tabs open there we're going to be flipping through, but there's ice shack removal deadlines for all the way up in Canada now. Onyx Maps is a training coming up that we're going to talk a little bit about. Arctic Cat is basically Dunzo Gonzo here coming up in the future, so we're going to talk a little bit about that. Quite a few new products, both new that we heard about that were announced, even some that were announced at ICAST that are now available, and then brand new that we are just finding out about. And then deals. There's a lot of deals right now. It is kind of that time frame now. If you're looking for ice fishing gear deals, now is the time. We're going to talk about some that are available online as well as in-store available. We'll get a couple questions to wrap up the show. So before we hop in real quick here, we got H4L tapping in, hopping on, and joining in on the conversation. Nice to see you here. OTC Outdoor Adventures, good evening, good evening. We got Charles, member of the channel. Really appreciate the support. He's going to head out Sunday, taking my son Alex out on the snow dog. Nice. Love it. We got Ty still on the ice here in Ontario. I'm getting out this weekend. I'm going to get out Sunday. I'll be out. Ping Live Sonar is my plan. I got the updated deucer for it. Going to hopefully be doing a video on the Ping Live Sonar. We had some stitching and some other issues with it. The first time that I had it out, got a new one sent to me. So we're going to try that out. That should be releasing here in Canada really, really soon. Crappies in the morning. Yeah, nice. I'll be going for some, hopefully some crappies on Sunday. I got to find a close by lake. I don't got a ton of time on Sunday, so we'll see what we can get into. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop in here. For those of you up in Saskatchewan, you've got some deadlines coming up here for when you need to have your ice shacks off the ice. We talked about Minnesota deadlines last week. Shelters must be taken off the ice by March 15th in all areas south of Highway 16th and March 31st in northern regions of Saskatchewan, the province said in a news release. You all know this better than I do. Oh, look at this. Ice fishing season. The season officially closes March 31st in southern Saskatchewan and April 15th in northern. See, I'm not from there. Obviously, I'm in Minnesota. Does that mean like you can't fish through the ice? Like it's illegal to fish through the ice after March 31st? Because like we have so we have like a date when here in the States, right? When our ice houses have to be off the lake. And in some states, you can't even have them on, right? It's state by state. So here in Minnesota, we have a deadline for when ice houses have to be off. And then there's also like the game fish season ends. But like those have both passed. We're still going out ice fishing, but we're walking out. We can still even use ice houses out there, but you can't target like walleye and the game fish. So we're going out for like panfish primarily. Burbot season is open in a lot of bodies of water right now too. So this is interesting that they close it, maybe for safety reasons. Who knows? Let me know if you're from Saskatchewan or you understand what this rule is. I've never heard of them saying you cannot fish anything for anything anymore. Like, can you go catch some minnows, some shiners? Yeah, be interesting. Ty, can't wait for that ping vid. Yeah, hopefully it is a good day. It works out. I get out, I find fish, and it turns into a nice video. Hopefully even get it up next week. That's my goal. Jay, nice to see you here. General closures. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Very interesting. So if you are up there in Saskatchewan, feel free to get your ice house off. If this is your shelter, I will say it is a very well-designed artistic shelter. Found this online, so don't blame me for the artwork. All right. On X Fish, we've got an upcoming, I've seen a few of these come through and I've never talked about it here. OnX Fish is one of the apps that I actually use quite a bit. during the ice season. I actually used it at the end in the fall open water as well. And it's really growing on me. They've done a really nice job with the app. As you all know, I have no affiliation with any of the brands, any of these companies. Of course, I know people from most of them, but that's not why I'm talking about this. I've seen this come across a few different times. And so if anybody is interested in the Onyx Fish app, specifically if you live in Minnesota or Wisconsin, because we have really good detail and some extra, benefits being in those two states, but there are benefits even outside of those. But if you are interested, go to Onyx's website. I'll link this page down below. As you know, I always link all the pages that we talk about down below after the stream's over. But go Google it if you don't want to wait until the stream's over. Onyx Fish, they should have a link to this. It's Thursday, March 13th, 6:30 p.m. Central Time. And essentially what it is, it's a Zoom call. It's a webinar, right? Where they're going to actually walk through, I think they usually last about an hour, and they're going to walk through how to get the most out of the app, questions and answers throughout to hopefully allow you to get, the most advantage out of it. It's a pretty powerful app. Helps you really identify, especially again, if you're in Minnesota, Wisconsin, they tie into the DNR surveys. They tie into a lot of the data sets that help them provide to you what fish are in what lakes. And if you want to go for a trophy fish or an eater fish or quantity, or you're looking for quality, you'll be able to do that. So go check that out if you're interested. These learning opportunities are always nice, especially when they're free like this one is. So make sure that you hop on in there. All right. Next up, so I've got 3 of these I'm going to show. I'm not going to read these to you, but I will definitely link them down below if you want to read these. So all 3 of these are what are called dealer communication. So they're articles that Arctic Cat will send to different dealers, letting them know about the happenings within the company and things that could impact them as a dealer. All of these are written by and signed by Philip, who is the VP and general manager of their power sports division. These started dating back to November 13th. So I think we have one from November, December, and then end of February here. So Arctic Cat back in November 13th sent a notice out to their dealers, letting them know that they initiated workforce reductions across their power sports businesses. So if you don't know, Arctic Cat is big in the power sports area. Of course, they're not as big now as they maybe once were. They say that they have thousands of users of their machines nowadays, but primarily, like if you're looking for a snowmobile, Arctic Cat was pretty big in that space for a while. And what they called out here is so they were eliminating some workforce. In addition, they will pause the production at their Thief River Falls facility after the production of the model year 2025 snowmobile lineup is complete, and they expect to resume production in Q1 2025. You can read the rest of this, but I'm going to hop to the next tab where there's another update about a month later in December saying that they're in response to the ongoing business conditions. So they were still a month later facing the headwinds coming at them from not only the economy and the business and probably the competition, pricing pressures, but then also it hasn't been a great snow season here, right? At least in the States. And I'm sure all like throughout the entire snow and ice belt. So they have said that they will suspend manufacturing operations indefinitely at their facilities in Thief River Falls and St. Cloud, Minnesota, after planned production in the first half of 2025 is complete. Textron, the parent company, also announced that it's exploring strategic alternatives regarding the future of the power sports business. These actions are difficult but necessary as we have continued to experience softness in consumer end market demand, resulting in a need to reduce costs. They will remain open for business with respect to selling current inventory and providing aftermarket support and services to their existing installed customer base. And you can see a lot more detail here if you want to continue looking through. But then let's hop to the latest communication that just came out February 27th. So this is about a week ago. There was another dealer communications, the last one we're going to talk about here, where they said, dear valued dealers, today we informed our employees in the Thief River Falls facility in Thief River Falls. Okay, they did say that right. I just read it wrong. That we would indefinitely suspend manufacturing operations at the facility by May 22nd. So May 22nd is the last day that any operations will be working there. As previously stated, the action is tough but necessary. to weather the current downturn across the power sports industry. They do state they still are open for business. Their sales organization, customer service teams, aftermarket distribution centers, and other functions are ready to assist not only the dealers, but also the customers. And they will maintain, I think this is good news for anybody that has an Arctic Cat or is interested in buying, probably on a crazy good deal, one of these closeouts. They will maintain tooling and production capabilities to ensure an ongoing supply of aftermarket parts for their customers. I would just be cautious if you are looking to buy one of these. Maybe if there are some parts that you expect to fail, buy them right away, because even though they say they will maintain tooling and production capabilities, we've seen now in over the course of 3 months, 4 months, they sent out 3 notifications of changing their mind and actually making more significant cuts than they had planned on. So just be cautious. This is me calling it out to let you know what's happening in the industry. Do what you want to do. This is by no means a dig at them or saying anything other than here's the facts, here's what's happening, just sharing the information that's been provided. But do what you want. But it is reassuring that at least for a period of time, they will continue building those aftermarket parts and the tooling for replacement parts and warranty parts. So that's good. They're still committed to providing service and support. They're not saying they're not going to come back. But I think the writing is on the wall. If I was a guessing man, based off of what we're seeing here, in that Thief River Falls facility will be completely shut down, is my understanding in the power sports industry. So that is Arctic Cat. That is the latest and greatest in the news there. So let's hop on to the next thing. Euro Tackle. They have announced some new rods, some new fishing rods. These are open water rods. They've got the ultralight and light spinning, and then they've got an ultralight BFS series. I will pop these open. I'm a big spinning guy. I like my spinning reels and spinning rods. So they've got the Rise spinning rods. You can see here $100. So these are by the looks of it, and the reason why I'm bringing it up here is, of course, there's always new rods hitting the market, but these actually looked pretty intriguing. They look like they're fairly well built. I don't know a ton about these yet, but I do plan on picking at least one, if not 2 or 3 of these up to try them out at $100. If they are a quality rod, that is a really dang good price for a decent rod for an open water rod. Now, they don't have everything available right now. So they've got 2 different actions. They got ultra fast and then moderate fast. The ultra fast has the solid tip. The moderate fast has evidently not a solid tip. It must be also known as a hard bait special. Bring more flex to swim your small hard baits with ease. You keep them pinned. So that just must go right back into the blank. So they've got 2, the ultra fast, the solid tip, and then they've got different lengths here. So they've got 5.2. This is in feet. 5.2, 5.6, 6.6, 7.0, and 6.5. And it is the same, but you can see certain ones are available. So like I'm a big 7-foot guy in terms of length that I like. I like that 7 to 7.6 typically. Ultra fast solid tip, they've got available in the 2-piece and a 1-piece. But if you wanted the moderate fast, you cannot get it in the 7. You can only currently get it in the 6.5. I'm hoping they're going to come out with a moderate fast in the 7-foot length to be able to use as well. But if you're interested, this is just the Rise spinning rods. And then for the BFS, you're going to see similar options and availability here, except the length is 6.5 and 6.6. 6.5, which is 6'6", 6 foot 6 inches is 6.5 inches. 6.5 inches. That doesn't make any sense. This should say 6.5 feet. So I think they got a typo here. But anyways, if you're interested in checking out a rod that seems to be fairly affordable and fairly decently built, just based off of me looking at their website and reading through the things that I did, may be worth considering. Not telling you to buy them. I haven't reviewed them, but something new to the market. So check it out if you want to. All right. Next up here, Garmin this is one of the key topics for tonight that we're going to talk about. Garmin has introduced the new Force Pro trolling motor. That is right, ladies and gentlemen, especially if you are a bass fisherman. This is potentially a trolling motor you may want to consider. This is intended to replace the existing Garmin Force trolling motor. This is not intended to replace the Garmin Force Kraken. And here's the primary reason why. The Garmin Force trolling motor came out before the Kraken did. The Kraken solved for some of the issues that the Force had, which you would imagine and expect, right? As it is a kind of the next in line. The Force Kraken typically has a longer shaft on it. So for your deep V hulls, for coastal or ocean fishermen, you're going to want the Kraken because you get that the longer shaft on the trolling motor. The Force doesn't get as long, but it does get shorter. So typically, a bass boat, like what we see here in the image, is closer to the water. So you don't need a shaft as long, which is ideal for when you have it stowed, right? Because you don't want a huge long shaft taking up a bunch of your deck, right? Or on your rail if you don't need it. But it's important to have a long enough shaft to get it in that water. That way, even if you're in a little bit of choppy water, you're going to get some good contact and actually be able to pull through that water pretty well. So that's the difference between the Force and the Force Kraken. Again, the Force Pro is to replace the Force. So what's new in the Force Pro? Let's talk about it. So one of the things in the Force Pro is that it now has a reverse thrust capability. So what that means is typically a trolling motor, you're going to have it go forward, right? Like the blade's going to spin one direction and then your head turns, right? And so if you want to go behind you, the head turns 180 degrees and it goes backwards, right? No longer with the Force Pro. Now it has that reverse thrust capability, which will allow it to, if you wanted to go straight backwards, it would just reverse the thrust and go backwards. This is important for a couple of reasons. One, they're saying that the mechanism is a lot quieter, number one. Number two, you're going to actually be able to have more control, right? Because you're going to not have to have it on, because typically it doesn't turn off when it turns back, right? So it's going to be on while it's turning back. So it's actually going to take you a little bit off course. But really, where the benefit here is that way, if you're coming into a spot, say you got a waypoint up ahead or you want to go 10 feet forward, who knows what the weather is doing, right? The wind, the current, the waves, who knows what's happening, right? If you're moving forward and maybe you're going a little too fast, right? Because of whatever the condition is, if you're moving forward to that spot that's now 2 feet in front of you, right now, the motor is going to get to it. It's going to realize it went over it. It's going to turn around because it's got to turn 180 degrees on the Force and it's going to come back. No longer. Basically, you're going to go towards it. And as it identifies that you're going too fast to hit your mark, it can actually reverse thrust while still pointing forward, reverse thrust to slow your momentum down so you can ease into a spot, which is pretty awesome. Not to mention, like we had said, the noise, not having to move the head so much. So there's actually quite a bit of benefit there. They call out that whisper quiet. That's not all, though. They have what they're calling outstanding anchor lock performance on this new trolling motor head. So it is now utilizing multi-band GPS signal reception. The Force Kraken does have dual GPS heading sensors in it. So you are already going to have a much better GPS lock if you have the Force Kraken. So don't worry about like, oh, I wish they had this in the Force Kraken. Force Kraken has really good GPS signal. The Force, though, only had the one in it. So this new multi-band is going to allow you to get much more accurate pinpoint locations of where you're going, the heading that you need to go, and then locking and anchor locking a lot better because it's going to really tightly know exactly where you are. So that's one of the benefits there. They have the built-in sonar integration with an included GT56 UHD transducer. So this is currently their highest end down and side imaging transducer that they have. Clear view and side view is what they call it. It's a chirp sonar. The previous Force had the GT54 in it. So it was the previous generation. So now you're able to step up. The Force Kraken has this same GT56 in it. So again, it's kind of stepping up to that Kraken capability that they have in it. You've got wireless integration. So now you can wirelessly integrate it in with your Garmin chart plotter, as long as your chart plotter is compatible with it, which most of them are. You've got Garmin smartwatch control. So if you have one of the Garmin smartwatches, you can actually control the trolling motor from your watch. The smartwatches are not cheap, but if you do want to get one, you can actually do that as well. And then they have a lighted indicator on the trolling motor shaft cap. This is actually pretty cool. It's something that I wish they would have had in the Kraken, but they don't. I don't know if they've got an image of it here, but I know in the thumbnail of this video of this show, if you go back and look at it, it is in fact, here, here's the beauty of being live. Let's just look it up right now. So we got Force Pro. Let me look up. Garmin Force Pro. I know you can't see this. I'm going to get it pulled up here, and then I will show you what I'm talking about. This guy right here. Let's visit this website. Let's share this tab. So this is the Force Pro trolling motor. Spoiler alert, it is $5,000. Okay, so this is what it looks like, right? They have this guy, right? Yeah. So you see the head of it? That little arrow right up here on the top is lighted, which is really nice for those low light conditions. If you've got your live imaging hooked up to it and you want to see where to cast, what's really great about this is you have that ability to actually see that even in low light settings, which is pretty freaking awesome. So really simple. I know you can probably get some aftermarket lights and glow paint and different, indicators and things like that. But that is what that light up indicator is. Since we're here, I may as well tell you. So they've got the 50-inch shaft and then the 57-inch shaft. The 50-inch shaft is $4,000 and it's $100 more to step up to the 57-inch shaft. So just so you know, that's what you're looking at in terms of price. So definitely not the cheapest trolling motors on the market, but they are new, they are available, and they have the latest and greatest technology from Garmin on them right now. Let's go ahead and hop back over here. Another thing that is new is the included foot pedal or wireless remote. With the included foot pedal or wireless remote, okay, it comes with both. So it comes included with the foot pedal and the wireless remote. What they're saying here is with the included foot pedal or wireless remote, anglers can control the Force Pro with Garmin's simple point and go gesture steering. So foot pedal, there are still some complaints on the foot pedal with how close a couple of the buttons are to the pedal, and it's not spaced out very well. I don't know. I don't use a foot pedal too much. The wireless remote is pretty awesome. It's the same one that comes with the Force Kraken by the looks of it. And what's great about it is you can actually hold down a button and you can point where you want to go and it will just know and it will go there, which is pretty awesome. And then they've got talk about the durability of it. And then you can actually add the optional live scope transducer if you wanted to hook it up to it. So they talk about price here, the different shaft lengths. It's backed by a 3-year limited warranty, lifetime limited warranty on the shaft, along with support through an ever-increasing servicing dealer network. So pretty exciting. This is something new from Garmin. I had no clue that this was coming. I'm sure others probably did, but that is what we're looking at here. So if you already have the Force Kraken, you got a deep V boat, this is not something that you're going to want to use because it's not going to be deep enough for you. I have the Force Kraken 75-inch shaft that I had purchased last year when I got my Lund Tai. So I will be using that same one this year with the new boat that I'm getting this year. New to me. I'm buying a used boat here, hopefully in the next month or so. All right. What else is new? Berkeley. Berkeley came out with the Jack. This actually was announced a little while back, but it is now officially available for sale. They've got 3 different sizes. They've got the 6, the 7, and the 8. These things look freaking sick. You can see the little rattles in them. And then you can see the profile of the body. Kind of looks like a rip and wrap, right, from Rapala. But they've got those rattles in it. You've got a spot to put 2 hooks on the bottom, and then, of course, to tie up top. In terms of the sizes of them, like I had said, you've got the bait size of an 8. So you've got that Jack 8. You've got a 7. And you've got a 6. I thought that there was a conversion mark here, but they do not have it. So I'll try to link it down below if I can, what those relate to, but I don't see them here. But yeah, pretty cool things. Okay, here we go. 6 is a 1/2 ounce. The 7 is a 3/4 ounce, and the 8 is a 1 ounce. So there you go. I'm planning on picking up probably some of the 6s, maybe some of the 7s. I think these are going to be fire for walleye. I don't know if they say in here what they're specifically claiming them to be really good for, but I would imagine once walleye opener happens here, these are going to be pretty awesome for those. All right, what else is new? So Clam has announced their Fortis nets for the season. So they've had Fortis nets out for a little while now. The big thing that's different about them is the rubberized coating on the net. So they've got a few different ones here. They've got a floating live well and trout net. You can see the hoop dimensions of these guys here. So this is a 9 1/4 by 15 by 11, $30. Not bad, and it weighs under a pound. Pretty awesome for a floating live well and trout net. Trout are kind of, obviously smaller fish usually. This is not lake trout that we're talking about here. And then the Fortis 155 net. So this one comes in 19 by 20 by 16. It's got a 65-inch handle on it. And again, this has, of course, they do a really good job with their aluminum and the anodizing of the framework on these, in that aluminum hoop. But really, one of the big things that's new is as they talk about the coated polyester net to protect the fish and make it easier for you not to get hooks and things caught in them. So, like this guy right here is new this year, the Fortis 175, the rubber net. This is the super strong yoke with the glide lock technology. So, like that handle snaps, like firm snap locking as you're extending it and I guess collapsing it. And then it's got the rubber net preventing the treble hooks from sticking into it. So this is an all rubber net from my understanding, whereas these other ones are coated uh, polyester nets. So there we go. 65-inch handle, 21, 24, 17, 2.5 pounds, $110. I don't know if I'm going to pick one of these up. I'm going to probably hold them in my hand this year and compare them to the net that I got last year. Last year, I got that Acme net. It was the Kalen's net, actually. It's the Tom Boley one that he endorsed last year. And I love that net. It's super lightweight. Clam does a lot of crazy different things, though, and they do have good nets. So I just want to let you know, if you're on the Clam squad and you're interested in seeing what they always got coming out, that is one of the new things. All right. I thought this was really innovative and cool. Pretty cool backstory here. We won't really dig too deep into it, but again, I will link the article down below. This article is from February 3rd, 2025, which is when I read it actually within the last week here, started looking into it. I'm like, I need to share this. However, just so you know, this is actually not new as of like the last month. This has actually been out for a little while, but I know I haven't talked about it, and I wanted to. So if you have a boat, you probably know there's a lot of ranting and raving about sea deck, right? What is sea deck? Well, sea deck is that foam flooring basically that you put in a boat, right? There's a lot of different brands. I guess sea deck. Don't hold me to this. This is just based off of the reading and the articles and the research that I've done. Sea deck was actually, I guess, the original maker of this technology is since 2004, allowing you to have that foam flooring. Well, supposedly back in November 2022, Jeff, who is my understanding the owner or co-owner of the company, was walking around the Mets trade show. He saw an exhibitor that was showing some new lighting systems that was using fiber optic lighting, and he got really excited about it. And he said, "Hey, I wonder if I could put fiber optic lighting into and inject it into my foam floors. Almost put like a fiber optic layer below it and around it." Excuse me. And so that is what he did. And so that is what's now on the market from CDEC. And here's the reason why they didn't use LEDs. And it says it in this article here is that if you were to use LEDs, as you make some of these bigger areas, LEDs look incredibly ugly when they're off. Because what you're seeing is essentially the little chips that are in there. If you've ever looked at an LED light strip, when it's off, unless it has like a translucent coating over it, kind of like a white ghost over the top of it, so you can't actually see the strip itself. But if you've ever seen a strip, it's just all of those little diodes essentially on there, right? Well, when it's on, it's not bad. And if you step back from it, it looks good. But if you're up close to it, there's a lot of inconsistency in the light because there's space between each of those. Well, fiber optic does a lot better job of having consistent light, and it doesn't look ugly when it's off, right? And you can make bigger, wider panels of it in spaces of it. So this is an example of one of the things that they did that when they were at Mets Trade. I think there was also a Miami boat show a few months ago where they had uh, shown up to that show and demoed a lot of their stuff down there in Miami as well. But this is what it looks like. So it is your normal sea deck. Aqua Traction is another brand that's pretty popular around here that you can put on your boat. This looks like it's probably the back of a wake boat. And you can do things like the fancy lighting around the outside, the different colored lighting on the inside. You can do different logos. So pretty dang cool. If you're interested in checking it out, I'm sure it is not cheap. But you can do a lot of really freaking cool things with it. So I'm excited to see this stuff. Like, this is the type of stuff that I like. Of course, it's not necessary. They got a lot of things that they're saying about it around, like, you can make your boat look cool. You can have it actually help you in terms of low light visibility, kind of before sunrise, after sunset, night fishing. You can use it for safety, so you can see where you're stepping. People can see your boat. So there's a lot of different angles at why this is maybe worth your money. I think it's cool. And that's primarily the thing that I like about it. But if you're interested, you can go to cdeck.com/innovation, or I will link this article down below if you want to read a little bit more about it. But I always love seeing some of the innovation that's happening in the space. All right, cool. Now let's hop over to some of the deals. There are a lot of deals going on right now. One of the primary things that you're probably seeing everywhere, and I'm going to link a bunch of these things down below, is there's several retailers, almost all of them, but I will not say all of them because I have seen some retailers not offering the Garmin manufactured discounts that are going right now, which just seems like they're not up to their game and are either buying from interesting sources or they're just losing out on sales. So Garmin's got basically a marine-wide sale going right now based off of the different products that you get. You're able to get certain deals. Almost every retailer has each product. So, like, for instance, we're going to look here. This is West Marine. I'll link like West Marine, Shields, Amazon, Cabela's Bass Pro. I'll link them down below so you can hop right to them here. But if you're looking to upgrade your Garmin screen, you want to get live scope, almost everything's on sale right now. But what you're going to see here is look at for the specific product that you're looking for, and everybody should have it at the same price. You're either going to find it at retail price. So like this GPS map 943 XSV, this is a popular unit. If you're interested in getting a 9-inch screen, you want the touch screen, you want to integrate in with your other GPS map units, and it has helm capability, which means you can actually view this screen share to your phone, record the screen. There's a lot of cool things you can do with the GPS map, and it's got better resolution on it than you would get from like an EchoMap 93. So $12.99, it's $200 off. Everywhere it should be $12.99. But again, there are places that will not have it discounted at all. You're not going to see one at $12.99, one at $12.50, one at $11.99, one at $13. You're not going to see that because these are price locked products, meaning they cannot offer these at a different price than what Garmin allows them to essentially. It's part of the agreement that's in place for them to be a seller of the different technologies. So what we're going to see here is a lot of the different screens that are on sale, anywhere from $100 off on some of the smaller EchoMap screens, all the way up to, I think the most I saw was $300 or $400 off on the bigger screens. Let's see, $400 off on the 8610. So the 86 and 7600 series are, see, when I zoom in, it pops me all around. The 8600 and 7600 series are currently, and probably the 8400 series is $400 off, I believe, each of them. So that's your biggest savings, but you got to obviously spend more to get there to those screens. They've got the trolling motor. So here's the Force Kraken. That's on sale right now, $300 off, depending on the shaft length that you go with. And then if you wanted the white or the black. You've got the 94. So this is a 9-inch screen at $11.99. You can get the 93, which just has different maps on it. It has US maps on it with the GT56 for $10.99 right now. So I will link all this down below, but there are some good deals. If you need a new Garmin screen, to be honest with you, this is going to be the best price that you're going to find until we get to maybe some of these like um, uh, I think July is typically when they do like some of these summer sales. So like if you're looking for the next 3 or 4 months here, now is kind of the time. These sales I do believe are carrying through the end of the month. So if you are looking for one of these Garmin units, get it before the end of the month. And of course, I always appreciate if you use any of the links down below because it does help out the channel. Not that I have a relationship with any of these brands, but some of them are affiliate links where I get referral credit if you go through. So uh, use them if you want. If you don't want to, no harm, no foul. Doesn't really matter to me, but I'm going to link to you where you can get the best deals regardless. Um, and so what we can see here is more of the screens, but there is more than just Garmin available as well, which we'll hop to here. Lowrance has, and I think I just have this filtered to Garmin here, but Lowrance has some deals going right now, and so does Humminbird. But I know a lot of you use Garmin. Here's Shields. Also, what they've got going on right now. One thing that's unique about Shields and Cabela is that you're not going to find it like a West Marine or even on Amazon. Is some of these bundles. These are newer bundles where they are the 10-inch and the 12-inch. Gosh, this does not want me to zoom in very much, so I apologize. Actually, do I have my magnifying glass is just white? That doesn't work. So they've got these guys right here. I'll just click on them. So this is the Ultra 2 106. So this is the highest end 10-inch Echo Map screen that you can get. There are the GPS map screens that are higher end as well, better resolution, faster processors, more capability. But for Echo Map, these are phenomenal screens. They now have the bundles out with the Ultra 2's 10-inch, the 106, and then we'll do the 12-inch after this one with the new LiveScope LVS 34. I say new, it's not new. But it is the newest that they have outside of like the 62, which most people aren't going to use unless they're fishing super deep water. $24.99. Like this is a crazy good deal. Again, not everybody sells these. I don't think these are available on Amazon or at West Marine. So check out, I know for sure, Shields, Cabela's, Bass Pro have these. $2,500. This screen alone, I think, is typically like $2,300. So you're like paying $200 to get a $1,700 MSRP live scope unit, right? Or look at it the other way around. This is normally $1,700 for the live scope unit. And so you're paying $800 to get the screen, which is a crazy dang good deal that they got going right now. So this is the 10-inch. That's the 106. And then the 126, you're paying $800 more for to step up to the 12-inch screen. And they got everything from different ice fishing bundles, different screens, the trolling motors, the Force Kraken again, and they got everything in here. So again, I got that one pretty dialed in and focused on Garmin as well. Fish USA, same thing here. They do have those bundles as well included in the deals here. And then they've got, yeah, kind of some of the smaller things here too. I know we're going to go to Amazon. And then when I get to Cabela's, I know I've got the electronics opened up to more than just Garmin. These other retailers do as well. But the reason why I'm going to Cabela's is because Cabela's has a spring sale going on right now, which we're going to talk about here in just a second. This screen, I'm sorry, it didn't pop over to Fish USA. I apologize for that. I'm flipping tabs here now, updating the screen. So here's Fish USA. They've got, again, you can see prices carry through. All right, not going to be a dead horse. Let's keep moving, Alex. If you are one of those people, like I kind of like buying from Amazon. Shields is probably my favorite retailer to buy products at. Specialty retailer, like if I wanted to go someplace where it's like they're going to have hopefully just about everything, including some of those things you typically don't find. Thorne Brothers here in Minnesota in Blaine is where I go for like that type of thing. And then of course there's tons of like the little guys that have their special things. Big box store, Shields is really the place that I go. I prefer Shields over Cabela's, Bass Pro Shops, Sportsman's Warehouse, Dick's Sporting, like you name them, Shields is better, in my opinion. But if I can get something online, Amazon, it's just so easy and so fast. And if something goes wrong with it or you don't like it, it doesn't work out for you, they got a really generous return policy on Amazon. So, you know, Don't hate me, but I do buy quite a bit of stuff from Amazon as well. So they've got the same deals. In fact, Amazon had these deals going up to 2 days before any of the retailers. So yet another plus for Amazon. High five, fist bump to Amazon. They're on top of it. As soon as Garmin had allowed them to release it, and I think actually Garmin controls the price because it's through the Garmin store. They were able to have the price drop before even the Garmin website dropped the price. So that's pretty awesome. If you want to buy it from Amazon, like if you're in another area of the country where you don't have a Shields or something close to you and you just want to go through the ease, I got these all linked down below as well. $14.99. And I do believe this is carrying through the end of the month. So make sure that you get it because it looks like there's only 19 left in stock right now. All right. Other ones on here. I linked to, there's 5 other items on Amazon here that I thought were a pretty good deal. So if you're looking for that new 9-inch screen, this is the UHD2, the latest and greatest 9-inch EchoMap screen. This is a really nice screen with the GT56 transducer. So the best open water transducer with their best 9-inch EchoMap screen in terms of the latest and greatest. That's $10.99 right now. And that does come with the US Navionics Plus mapping. If you don't need the open water transducer because you either already have a GT54, GT56, or you're just going to use it with LiveScope, you can go ahead and save yourself $100 by going with just the screen only for $9.99. Which I should probably flip the screen over so that you can see what I'm talking about here. So that's this one here for $9.99. Again, I'll link all this down below. And then if you wanted the 7-inch screen for $849.99, you can get the UHD 273 SV. This is nice if you're going to be primarily using it for ice fishing, but if you have a kayak, a smaller boat, or even a regular size boat and you want to get it on there, 7-inch screen is doable. It is a little bit smaller for open water, but this one does come with the GT54, so it's not the latest and greatest open water transducer. It is one generation older, but it is still a great, like honestly, a phenomenal open water transducer as well that you can mount either to your trolling motor, the transom of your boat. You can put it on a pole over the side of like a kayak if you want to, but that's on sale right now, $100 off, which is a pretty good deal. And that screen is phenomenal. This is actually the screen that comes with the Panoptix PS22 IF, the ice fishing bundle that they've got that they came out with this year. This is the screen that actually comes with it. So if you've played around with that, this is the exact same screen, except it has the open water transducer with it as well. All right. The 106 SV that we were talking about, this has the GT56, so this is $19.99. And then the 126 for $239.99 with this one does not have, this is screen only. Hold tight. Hold tight. I'm reading this here, and this seems really confusing. Are you seeing what I'm seeing here? Garmin EchoMap Ultra 2 12-inch 126 SV chart plotter with Garmin Navionics Plus mapping. Okay, so it's the screen with mapping, which we know that we're getting, and live scope, live scanning sonar. I think that's a typo. I don't believe it's supposed to say that because this does not come with live scope. If this came with live scope, I am telling you, this would be the best price I've ever seen ever on a bundle. So I'm pretty sure this is a typo on Amazon. There's no way that it has live scope with it. It's live scope compatible. I don't know why I didn't see that or catch that before. So I would look at the photos here, look at the description, and not go off of what it says here. This is likely only the 12-inch screen, but it's still a good deal, $300 off. So this is the sale price that Garmin's got going on, just the screen only, which would make you believe that it really is just the screen only. So there you go. Yeah, interesting that they would have that listed that way. All right. Let's hop on over to Cabela's. So this is the big thing that I was telling you about with Cabela's. So we're going to talk about some of the other brands as well here because they're for sale at Cabela's and Bass Pro Shops. So Cabela's Bass Pro Shops are essentially the same thing. Spring Classic Fishing Sale. So you can save up to 50% now through March 26th. Don't worry if you're looking for ice fishing gear. There's something coming up here for you as well. Not at Cabela's. It's actually at a brick and mortar store, so you got to be close to it. But you can see some of the good deals that they got here that they're calling out, which are the Johnny Morse Carbon Light combos. These are the bundles I was telling you about before that we had on Shields and was it Fish USA? The Garmin Echo Map Ultra 2 and Live Scope Plus bundle. So you get the Live Scope Plus, the LVS 34 with the black box, networking cable, the 10 or 12-inch screen. And then those start at, with the 10-inch screen, starting at $24.99.97. But wait, it gets better at Cabela's because they do have a club member price on a lot of these sale deals where if you are part of their club membership, which I am not, what their club membership is the only way to sign up for it is you have to have their credit card. So if you have a Cabela's credit card, you are part of their club membership or their Bass Pro credit card, you have their membership, and you can actually save an additional $200 off of this price. Otherwise, I don't remember the price of the other one. Was it $34.99? And I think that comes down $200 more as well. I'll show you here because I think I got the pages pulled up. They've got some Fly Shop Prestige Complete Fly Combo, some shirts, Humminbird Helix 12 Mega SI Plus GPS G4N. So calling this out, remember, if you are in the Humminbird family, if you already have a lot of Helixes and you're happy with that, you're happy with the Mega Live 1 transducer that's out there, and you're just looking to get some more big screens, this is actually a pretty dang good deal. $1499.98. That is $1,200 in savings. These are nice screens, but do not forget that these screens are not compatible with Mega Live 2 that just recently came out. The Helix line is not compatible. So I don't want you to go spend your money here if you're thinking about getting that later down the road. But if you're okay with having live imaging on a different system or having a different screen like an Explorer unit or a Solix or an Apex unit, you can absolutely do that with the Mega Live 2. You won't be able to network them together, but yes, just so that you know, they're trying to blow these things out right now for sure, which is why you're seeing prices as aggressive as this. Some baits, different things on sale. They're forward-facing sonar baits and jig heads. These are the Bass Pro Shops specific brand. So this is their, what do they call it? Exclusive brand, white labeled, in-store proprietary brand. BPS, I think is what they are. These are, I think these are tungsten jig heads on this one. And then so 33% off if you're looking for just some really basic lures. Pretty decent, good price there. Lowrance has a special buy right now for $1,000. Lowrance has the Elite FS10 with total scan. If you're interested in picking that up, and then there is not a club member deal on that one. The Minn Kota trolling motors, almost all of them right now are on sale. You can get 3x club points on the Garmin Force trolling motors, plus save $300, which is a pretty dang good deal. Again, this is the one that is now getting upgraded. It's not getting upgraded, but they've got the new one that came out with it, the Force Pro, that's now on the market, is essentially replacing this one. So this one's going to go discounted, and then I imagine at some point it's probably going to get discontinued. Some tackle bags. This is a good combo deal that we're going to talk about here in a second, so I'm not going to talk about it right now. They got some deals on boats right now with no interest financing. They got $2,000 in-store credit on some of the deals that they got going as well as previous models. So I'll link this down below if you're interested to hop right to their fishing page. It will be there for you. But what I want to show you here is those same bundles. So I'm just going to fly through these because we've already talked about these exact bundles. This is the price at Shields. This is the price at Fish USA. Only at Cabela's and Bass Pro Shop have I seen the price lower, and it's only if you use their credit card and you're part of their club membership to save an extra $200. So the 10-inch goes down to $22.99.97. And I know there's like RackU10, they've got like a coupon thing, and if you have a military discount, you can stack all of that stuff if you have points that you want to use towards the purchase. That's how I know a lot of people that I know buy a lot of this stuff for actually a really dang good price. So feel free to stack. These things are always stackable. So that's the 10. In the 12, club members actually save $400 on this. So it's $32.99.97. This is the 12-inch. Ultra 2, $28.99 if you're a club member, plus stack some of those other discounts if you got them. Those are the deals they got going on with that unit. Something else that I want to show you, if you are a boat fisherman, you have a boat with a windshield on it, I actually highly recommend this. This is actually one of the cheaper ones on the market. There are some very reputable, big name, high quality products that are out there to cover your windshield, and they cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And I will tell you, they're freaking nice. But I will also tell you that this one for $89.99 full retail is a great deal. I bought it last year and it was great. $69.98, $20 off is an even better deal. So if you are looking for something for your windshield, I will tell you this, even if you get a little chip in it, you will say $70 is worth saving myself from getting a chip in the glass. And if you're like me, and you have a Lund, or had a Lund, and you've got that curved glass on the side of it, right? You know what I'm talking about? Those cost a very pretty penny to get replaced. In some cases, I've actually heard boats getting totaled out because it's upwards of a few $1,000s to replace that windshield, when you could just put something on this like it to protect it without having to do a full cover on your boat. So if you're interested in getting that, it's on sale right now too. Okay. This is the best weight scale on the market right now uh, for weighing your fish. This is the Bubba Pro Series Smart Fish Scale. However, this one is an even better deal. So typically, full retail on just this guy alone. I don't know why this page is not letting me zoom in here, but I can't, so I can click on it. This scale alone is normally $220 MSRP. This whole kit is $200, which comes with the call kit, and so you're saving some money there. And on top of that, you're saving $70 as a club member. So $130, you're able to get the call kit with the board that you've got on it there to be able to weigh them out, scale them out, hold them up, whatever you want to do there. And then the scale, like this scale is money. I love this scale. And this is the one that you don't need a subscription to use, like the new one they came out with. That's crazy. All right. If you're looking just for the scale itself and you're not a club member, Sportsman's Warehouse does have a deal going right now, 25% off, down to $149.99. And this is that scale itself, where you either get a hook, you get the hook, and then you get the little clamper too that you can lip grip the fish as well. And it comes with a nice case here. It comes with a rechargeable lithium battery, as well as you can throw double A's in it too if you want to use it that way as well. So that's one thing that they got going. Also, part of their spring sale right now, if you have some of the Bass Pro Shops, or you have some of the Onyx vests, the inflatable vests, of course you can buy the vests. But if you already have them and you need the rearming kits, these are on sale right now. I know these are not cheap, but they're on sale right now for about 20% off. So like, this is the time, pick up a couple extra. I know I'm going to grab some because I've got a few of them in my garage right now. I need to pick up some extra of the rearming kits. So save yourself a little bit of money, have an extra one or two on hand, and you're good to go. And make sure you're testing your life vest too if they're the inflatable. This I thought was pretty cool, and it's on sale for 20% off. I'm going to pick some of these up. I have not tried this specific brand before, but there's an ice fishing lure that I love that is very similar to this, and this is heavier, and I think is going to really dial into my fishing style for open water for plenty of different species. But this is the Blue Fox Classic Vibrax spinner. This is the 1/4 ounce gold shiner. Look at all the different colors, all the different sizes. These are 20% off. So just showing a little bit of some of the lures I'm going to be using this year. Yeah, I'm excited about that when I found it, when I was looking at all the deals. All right. So here's the other, I'll link this page down below as well. So again, if you are not in the Garmin family, or you also are in the Lowrance and Humminbird family, and you're looking to pick up some of the deals that they got going on, deucers and things like that, screens, trolling motors, this is the page you're going to want to look for. It will be called something like Cabela's Bass Pro, or Spring Sale Marine Electronics and Trolling Motors. This is where they've got the Humminbird, the Mega Live 2. This is not on sale, but it's $14.99. They're just saying it's available and it's new. So they've got it listed in there, but you've got the sale deal on the Garmin's, all that stuff. You do have the Lowrance Active Target 2 live sonar currently on sale, $350. So if you wanted to get that, you can definitely do that. That's actually a decent price for it. The Garmin Force trolling motor again. So you've got kind of all the brands represented here and all the deals on those brands that are part of the spring sale. So this is like the one electronics page you want to go to. And there's nobody that's cheaper than them. In fact, with their club membership, again, Cabela's is probably the best place to buy because, if you bought it from them, you're part of the club membership or not, you got the best deal that's out there if you're open to buying directly from them. All right. Berkeley has a deal going. I'm not going to go through their website here, but scroll through and you can see some of the things that they got. New arrivals that came in here, some of their popular categories. I'm only showing this because they got to spend 50, get a $15 credit going. That's essentially 30% back. So this is a pretty dang good deal. If you spend 50 and you get 15 bucks, pretty dang good deal. Pick up another pack of baits, hopefully with that $15 credit or a couple new lures. So I'll have that link down below in case you are a Berkeley fan and want to buy some stuff. Also, I think a lot of you probably have heard of Sam Sobey before, right? Sam Sobey is he's got some robs with Dobbins rods, and they're currently on sale on baits.com. So if you're looking to save a little bit of money and pick up one of his rods, baits.com has them on sale right now. And it looks like whatever that math is, 30% off, 25% off. So go ahead and pick them up. I don't have any, but I saw them and I'm like, oh, Sobe. So feel free to pick up either his casting rod, his flipping rod, or his spinning rod options. All right. Ice Fisherman. Sorry to say it, but Joe's Sporting Goods in Minnesota, you have to be present. It's an in-store only. They do not have this going online, so I'm sorry. But they have their final winter clearance sale. They're located right in St. Paul area, Roseville area there, and you can get up to 50% off. They've got a lot of winter gear, including ice fishing, of course, included in it. So you can go ahead and go to their fall winter clearance. This is all I got to show you. They don't tell us about what the deals are, but I am planning on hitting it. So I will report back if there's anything crazy going on there. Yeah, pretty excited. I got a lot of ice fishing gear, so I don't know if I'm going to buy anything, but up to 50% off. If they got ice fishing stuff at 50% off, I know I'm not walking out empty handed. All right. Top to a few questions here, and then what we are going to do is hit the chat for a second here. So we always do a few viewer questions. So if you have a question for me, feel free to drop it in the comments either now as part of the live. If you're part of the replay squad, drop it down below. Otherwise, in every video, should be every video in the description or in the pinned comment, probably in the description. There's a line in there that says, if you have a question, every week I answer a couple live on the FGTN show. That's here. That's now. I've got 2 picked out for tonight that we're going to go through. You can either email the email that's in there, which I think is something like question@fgtnshow.com, or just click the link. It'll bring you to a website where you just fill out a form, click submit, and you're done too. I will filter through those. I try to look at comments. I try to look at DMs. I try to look at, of course, all the submitted questions. That's where I go first. So submit them there. And I will try to get to them as well as reply directly back to you as well. So here's one that we got evidently on Monday this week. It's 7:26 p.m. So it says, I actually ordered myself an EE9. That's the Eagle Eye 9, mostly because of the videos that I've been putting out. Just curious what batteries I'm running. So I've actually gotten this question quite a bit. So I figured I would show the right question on the screen because I was reading the wrong question. So this is the question I was just reading. So here's the question. Let's start over. Here's the question. I ordered myself a Eagle Eye 9 because of the videos, and I'm just curious what batteries you're running. Popular question that we get. I use, because typically the Eagle Eye 9 is not I'm going to sit down and fish. The Eagle Eye 9 is phenomenal, and I would argue in the top 2 best hole hopping units on the market today. I think that there's a way to build a live scope setup that is right there, either tied with it, so they tie for second, or the live scope setup. And I'll show you, I bought a brand new screen for my ultralight live scope setup that's even lighter than the one that I put out last year. I got to get a video out on it. I know the season's wrapping up here. But I use this for hole hopping. The reason why I say that is I don't need to use this for 8 hours a day. If I'm hole hopping, I'm hunting fish, I'm catching the fish, or I'm finding the fish, and then I'm going to sit on them, or I'm only going to be out there for a few hours. So the battery that I use is now it's known as the 8 amp hour from Amped Outdoors. That battery you can get about 5.5 to 6 hours out of, and that's with full brightness and in the beam going the whole time. If you want to step up to a full day use, go ahead and get their 15 amp hour. It's like $50 more, and you'll run a full day, no problem. So that's what I would recommend in what I use. They're about the same weight, and they're both going to fit in those really compact shuttles. So that's kind of what you're looking at there. All right. Here's the other question that we got for tonight. This person says that they are French, and they have been watching the interesting videos for the last several months. They're good quality in France, which is why I called that out, because it actually matters in their question. In France, they have no tests or opinions on the Explorer with the Mega Live 2. This person has seen that I tested it, and that is true. I have. I did purchase the Mega Live 2 with the Explorer 9, so I have that as well. I wanted to know if, in your opinion, it was up to the standard of the LVS 34, or is it still the Garmin, which remains more advanced on live technology? Thank you very much for your feedback. So I've gotten this question a lot too. So I will have some comparison videos coming up between the two. I don't know if they're going to be ice fishing videos. I've got some filmed, like the footage is on my computer. I haven't edited them yet because I'm not sure if I can yet do a fair comparison. I might throw out a couple first impression videos. There's some funky things going on. Like I'll give you an example of a couple of things, and then I'll answer this question. One, when you have it in either down or forward mode on the Mega Live 2, you I can't get a depth. It doesn't tell me a depth on the screen. Like, what the heck? Every once in a while it will, and it'll be wrong. And so I've started watching other people's videos that are ice fishing with it. And I would say for some reason, some people have a depth, but 80% of the videos, roughly, I'm making up a number here, but it's a significant majority of the videos that I've seen. They also, in that top left corner where you normally see the depth, right? Like on live scope, like it's dialed, like it's right. Mega Live 2, for some reason, it's not there. Everything that I've been able to find on the Mega Live 2 in the research that I've done is showing that you have to have an open water transducer hooked up because that's where it's looking for that depth from. And I'm like, well, what the heck? So on a boat, that wouldn't be a problem if you have it hooked up to an open water transducer because it's going to read that way. That's one funky thing. Here's another funky thing. And I guess this was actually a thing with the Mega Live 1 as well, which I didn't use very much. But if you put the transducer in forward mode, you get some really weird banding happening in echoes on the beam, like really bad. I should put some videos out just so you can see. They've got a fix for it though. And in fact, they have a fix for it that they included in the box when you bought it. And what is that fix? So on the transducer, there's a little probably 240-degree circle on the top of it. And what they give you is they call them masks inside of the box. They're basically a little adhesive foam square. They're little rectangles. And you put them to cover up the beam so that way you're not getting the reflection when you're using it in the shallower water and in the forward mode, especially when you're ice fishing, because it's hitting that hard bottom of the ice and reflecting down. So you literally stick a piece of adhesive foam over a part of the transducer to eliminate that. Like that's the solution. Why wouldn't you just have a setting in there where you can just say, I'm getting a reflection, and you can actually just adjust so it's not even emitting out of that. Like adjust anyways. So there's some funky things going on with it right now. I have, as you all know, if you follow the channel, I've spent years and years and years with Garmin Panoptics, Garmin LiveScope, Garmin LiveScope Plus, like all that stuff. So I feel really confident in what I can do and how that technology performs. I'm not yet there. I haven't had nearly as many hours on the water or on the ice with the Humminbird. There are things that I actually really like about the Mega Live 2. The, the target boost feature where it actually can identify fish, difference from structure, from your bait dropping down. I can't wait to try this thing on open water. It's actually quite wonderful, in terms of how it is, working and identifying those even at distance. But right now, if to answer your question, right now, if you were to pin me down and say you had to buy one, it would 100% be the Live Scope Plus. One, I know I can get it to perform better than the Humminbird Mega Live 2 right now. Like, I know that I can. But what I'm fearful of is 2 months down the road, is the Mega Live gonna actually be really competitive with it, where it's gonna be a toss-up? I don't know. So I need to get more time on the water to give it a true accurate side by side and do my definitive comparison video where it's like which one's better basically. I will put that video out this summer, once I'm ready for it. But that's the really long answer to your question. Right now I'd buy the LVS 34. It's only going to keep Garmin's only going to keep improving. So if you get into that ecosystem, you're not going to go wrong. Humminbird, I don't know, because I don't know if some of these weird glitches and funky things that are going on right now, or if the clarity is even truly at that same level. There's some pretty impressive things that it can do. Their waypoint management, but like those are things Garmin can do with the software update. So yeah, I'd go live scope right now. So that is what we're rocking with. So those were our questions for the night. We'll flip through the chat here. So if you got any questions, feel free to drop them in there and we'll hang out. Gosh, we've been live for over an hour. I told myself it's going to be a short one tonight. I'm exhausted, but evidently we are just rocking and rolling here. So yes, Jay is in the stream. Nice. Congrats on the baby, Jay. Congrats on the addition to the family. That's absolutely awesome. If you guys don't know, I mean, how do you not know Jay Siemens? Go follow his stuff. He makes some of the best cinematic adventure content out there in the fishing world. Like, honestly, some of the best out there. I don't make nearly as many actual like fishing adventure excursion type videos anymore because it's like I watch a Jay video and I'm like, what am I doing over here? I feel like I'm filming with a potato. So I'm just gonna stick to my gear stuff over here. But no, Jay does a phenomenal job. So congrats, Jay, on the addition to the family. Still on the ice in Idaho. We love that. What's up, Blaine? Nice to see you here. CRB Outdoors is asking, where do I get a live scope mount for an ATV? I honestly would just like I don't know if you're trying to like put an arm on your ATV and then you can just like have it mounted there. I've never tried that. My recommendation would be just get a ram arm and do it that way. But what I like to do when I'm on my ATV hopping around is I have it on just a normal tripod setup. I throw it across my front rack, or I even just lay it across my lap while I'm going just to protect it so it doesn't fall anywhere or bang around and bounce around. And then when I get to where I'm going, you got to get off anyways to auger the hole. And so then I just drop it in the hole. So I don't actually have it fixed mounted on my ATV, but I do a ram mount where you can clamp on with the arm to your ATV, like a bracket or a bar or something like that, and then right onto the pole. So you can still swivel it. That's what I would do. All right. Steve Hastings, new member of the channel. Steve, thanks for hopping on and being a member and supporting the channel. We'll have a lot more stuff happening in the members area soon. If anybody's interested in supporting, I always appreciate it. But just watching the videos, sharing the videos, commenting, the engagement is really what matters to me. So keep letting me know what content do you guys want to see? What do you want to see reviews on? I'm here because I love this stuff. I've heard it's very hot on your bare feet. Not sure what we're talking about there. All right, Blaine. Mega Live 2 is non-existent. I don't know what that means. It's non-existent. I mean, it does exist. It is available for sale. Cabela's has it available right now, right? As we saw on their website. So Yeah. Have you seen the HDI open water mounts? What do you think? Tell you what, I have not in person seen the open water mounts. If Jay is still here, I'm sure he has. He's probably used them. But I have talked to Jason about them and I've seen his videos and photos online and they look awesome. I love the idea of the pin through the ball in the arm to prevent it from going side to side. Unlike like a ram ball, it's all friction mounted. His solution looks like it's going to be awesome. I'm going to definitely buy it when it's available. Hopefully next week or the week after or something like that. I'll be buying at least one of them. I've got a lot of open water mounts, but it'll go right on that gunnel and it'll be tried out right next to all the others and we'll see how it performs. But knowing Jason and his stuff, I expect it to be pretty good. And definitely like from a price point that I've been at least seeing, it should be really well priced compared to the competition. Looking to mount to an otter box for on and off for quick attachment. Oh, okay. I'm following now. So if you want to do that, what I would recommend is let me find the brand. I want to say it starts with a C. It's basically, I think they're actually called gun mounts. Gun mount brackets for ATV. Kolpin, Rhino Grip, these guys right here. Here, I'll pull these up on the screen and show you what I'm talking about. These are what I recommend. Oh my gosh, the number of pop-ups and ads we got going. Okay, here we go. This is what I would recommend for that. I've got these actually mounted on my OtterBox. So, because there's 4 bolts you can put through. These are the Pro pair. I know they're not cheap. You can get the cheaper ones if you want to. I would go with these ones. So these are the Kolpin Rhino Grip Pro. So what's great about these is these are, I think they're anodized aluminum, durable cast aluminum construction. And then they've got the rubber. So it's not going to hurt anything. Your rod will essentially slide down in, and then these are rubber straps that just go over the top, holds it in nice and firm. You get a little vibration in there. It'll actually firm everything up because the rubber's pushing on it. It's actually really, really secure. I use this for an auger. I use it for a pole for my transducer pole if you want to, and it's not going anywhere, like literally not going anywhere. So this is what I would recommend. They do make a cheaper version of this as well. Let me see if I can find that really quick and see what the price is. They're black. I don't know. Yeah, I can't find them right now. Looks like there's maybe another brand of them where they're all basically plastic, $50. I think I had the plastic ones a few years back, but I broke one of the plastic ones in the cold. Summertime, it's not going to be that big of a deal. No one has it. April 14th ship date. If you have any of the fishing shows around you, I would go to one of the fishing shows because the retailers typically have them. I mean, I've had mine for like 2 months. And I just bought it from a retailer at a fishing show. Tell you what, stay tuned to the channel. I'll keep my eyes out. When I see the Mega Live 2 available for sale, I'll put a post up so you can just buy it. The boat flooring cover. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah. It could, I mean, it could be. Fiber optic shouldn't get too hot, I wouldn't think. Have you found a boat yet? Are you leaning towards something in particular yet? I have not found a boat yet. I'm giving myself, because here's the deal. If I go out and get a boat this week, say I go get a boat, I'm not going to want to ice fish anymore because I'm going to be like all about the boat, right? So I'm trying to hold off for another month or two because I think that I can get out probably for at least another month here and find ice. Like I'm not driving out, right? But I'll be at least able to walk out. That's what I'm planning on doing on Sunday. My ATV, I actually broke an axle on my ATV last weekend. And so that's in the shop. It's back ordered on parts. That's an expensive repair. So I'm getting an axle replaced on my ATV. So I'm down this weekend for it. Hopefully I'll have it back by next weekend and at least be able to hop around with my tracked ATV the rest of the season until I just walk out. But yeah, like, so to answer your question, I do not have a boat yet. I am looking for a boat. It's going to be another used boat. I'm looking for aluminum. I really like the idea of the Lund again. Hopefully this time I can have a little bit longer, not total it out. That would be ideal. But yeah, probably looking to see if I can get something similar to what I had last year. But Alumacraft is something that I got my eyes on as well. So we'll see here. Will we get some more kayak fishing vids from you this year? You know, if I happen to not buy a boat for some reason, I might get and deck out a kayak. So we'll see. If I can't find a really good deal or exactly what I'm looking for by May, let's call it the end of May, I'll just buy a freaking kayak and we're gonna kayak this year. Because I'm not gonna overspend on a boat just to get out on the water. Not gonna happen. I might though. I might get a smaller kayak that I can just paddle because I've got a couple bodies of water around here that you can't get a boat in. But I would love to get a little kayak in there, and I think that it would be some pretty good fishing. So I might just get myself a nice little kayak, anyways, for this year. So Warrior Boats, yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, cool. Thanks again, Steve, for joining, being a member. Charles, Blaine, appreciate you guys hopping on the live stream, and everybody else that has hopped on the live stream. If you're part of the replay squad, again, please, if you made it this far, at least drop down in the comments and let me know what's the latest you've ever been on the ice before ice fishing. Mine is April 30th is the latest I've been on the ice. Are there 30 days in April? There are 30 days in April. It's April 30th, 2018, I think was the year. See if you can beat me. Has anybody well, I guess there's a lot of people from Canada that hop on here too, and it's kind of unfair. But let me know. Okay, so this is what you got to do. Let me know what's the latest you've ever been on the ice and where was it? You can either say state or if you're in Canada, the province. I mean, like where? Give me an idea. It'd be interesting to see. So thank you all for tuning in. Tight lines this weekend. Please be safe out there. The ice this time of year can be really tricky, unsafe in certain areas. So please wear your float suit, wear a life jacket, go with the buddy system, be safe out there, but have fun, and we'll